Have you ever walked down the street and saw a really cool building and wondered what it is? We have a ton of those buildings in Toronto, and today we're gonna highlight some of those cool hard loft conversions that you might see walking down a side street in the Annex. Before we get started, I'm Stephanie Nause with the Homeplicity Realty Group.
I'm Nicole Shlass.
We are passionate about helping our clients build and develop wealth through real estate. If you're interested in tips on buying a home, selling a home, or investing in Toronto real estate, I hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel. And if you love cool lofts or videos about lofts, go ahead and give us a like. Let's talk about the Button Factory Lofts, located at 200 Clinton Street. This is a 100-year-old hard loft brick conversion. All the suites are huge. They're over 1,200 square feet, and some of them are actually on 2 floors. So it has that cool kind of hard loft, New York style vibe that people always think of when they think about Toronto lofts. And it's hidden from the street, covered in pine trees. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you might fully miss it. All the units also have balconies, which is super rare for a hard loft conversion. And it's just like an overall cool loft space.
The next loft we'll cover is the Schoolhouse Loft, which is located at 391 Brunswick. It's not hard to find, but you might miss it just driving down the street because it looks like a schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. They've kept the original Loretto College School for Girls kind of facade on it. So it literally looks like you are walking through a schoolyard garden. Something really cool about this conversion specifically is it's done in a more contemporary style. So if you don't love the hard loft, exposed brick, cement floor type style, then this actually might be a little bit more what you're looking for. There's about 19 units in the building, so it is still considered boutique. And again, it's on Brunswick, which is one of the most historical, well-known street in this city.
For sure in the Annex.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Croft Lofts, which I don't even know if you've seen them because these are ones that you could actually miss like that because it's located in a laneway. So this is actually one of our oldest lofts in the city. Actually the original laneway house. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard right now, but Toronto has been going crazy with laneway homes just to try and get another source of income for property owners. So this was the original laneway house.
And then, OG.
And then it was turned into a cleaning rug company. And because it has, on one side, it has all garages, it's kind of like become this like laneway loft. What's also really cool about it is they're all done in a townhome style. So instead of having like a wide house, you're gonna have more of a tall home. And this building is very cool. It looks kind of Art Deco-y. You know, you have a lot of the Art Deco shapes, a lot of the arches. It's also a red brick building with ivy coming down all around it.
The ivy.
It's so beautiful. And again, there's only 5 units in the building. It's actually one of the rarest, and it's nestled right in between the most historical streets in the city. So I don't know if you've ever really gone through between Harvard and College where this is located, but that's where you have a lot of the historical plaques on the homes, and you can't touch those homes.
Yeah.
So really, really cool. So those are 3 lofts that you might not have known that exist in the Annex.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we need to highlight are also some of, I don't want to say cons, but
well, some of the downsides.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Some of the downsides of having a loft and having a boutique loft. So the first one that I want to bring up is when you are in a building with not a lot of other units, typically if there are any special assessments or raises in your maintenance fee, that is going to fall almost solely on you.
Unexpected repairs.
Yeah, which happens a lot because again, we're living in an old building that's been converted. You have to expect that there is going to be a little bit more upkeep than there would be for, let's say, a newer building. But it is something to keep in mind, especially with having only very, very few units in the building.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had instances instances too where we've had clients that have lived in buildings with maybe 20 units and a special assessment comes along, and that's money out of your pocket. But it could also be hard when trying to sell it in the future because no one really likes special assessments.
Well,
and they're a little bit unpredictable.
Special assessments, I mean, there's definitely ways. I'm the listing specialist on our team, so there's definitely ways to handle that moving forward and structuring a sale. But, it is something to be mindful of is, oftentimes people feel very secure buying into condo communities and vertical communities because they have the shared expenses and the shared repair costs. So it's almost, when you're buying into one of these older buildings, it's gonna be more like living in a home, especially a freehold one like the Croft.
I forgot to mention.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna make sure that you have some funds set aside if there's an instance where you're gonna have to make some repairs or, take care of the roof and take care of some of those types of things.
Exactly. Things that typically would be covered, let's say, in a massive condo building might not be covered in a loft.
Yep.
The one other thing we like to mention is always remember a loft, especially a hard loft, which is a conversion. So you have to remember that this was not built for a residential building. It was built for a commercial building, for industries, warehouses. So you're not always gonna get some of the features that you might have, let's say, in a condo or something that was built specifically for residential use. So things like balconies, outdoor space, air conditioning sometimes. What else?
Yeah.
Underground parking, things like that.
Concierge, a lot of those types of things. And, I think that when people are buying into condominiums, they're really looking to be buying into a vertical community, which is what a condominium is, right? They want to have access to the gym, to the party room, to the outdoor garden space, especially if you're in a building that doesn't have access to balconies. But this is something that you oftentimes will not get. Even things like a concierge or pool, it does help to offset the higher maintenance fees for living in a smaller building, but you also don't have some of those luxuries and amenities. You have to go outside your building to look for them. So, that's sometimes a trade-off to have that kind of more cool, unique space. You don't get some of the conveniences that you would get in a more traditional condo space.
For sure.
Yeah.
Pros and cons, just like everything else.
Yeah. And I think the other thing to note, if we're talking about pros and cons, is for our clients that really fall in love with these small boutique style buildings, if there's 5, 10, 20, even 100 units in a building, that's a very small number.
Yeah.
So if you are waiting for a specific unit in a specific one of these buildings to come up, you could be waiting a really long time.
That's true. Loft livers are loft lifers.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah, they just, whenever I show lofts and you meet a neighbor, they'll tell you they've been there for 15 plus years and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, the nice thing is that they do tend to hold their value because they're very unique and there's always people looking for them. So I hope that you found this information useful. If there's any buildings that you would like information on or any other neighborhoods that you'd like us to share some of our top secret lofts, go ahead and comment down below. As usual, all of our contact details will be listed in the description box below if you wanted to reach out for a custom list of lofts for sale, or if you have one of these really unique properties and you're interested in knowing the value of it, we would welcome the opportunity to have a conversation with you.
We've also done loft tours in the past and we find those are actually very helpful. You get to go in and see lofts that typically you don't really get to look at. So let us know if that's something you're interested in and we can definitely curate some properties for you.
Absolutely. If you've made it until the end, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of information, go ahead and give us a like. We hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel, and you can head over to @Homeplicity Realty on Facebook and Instagram for a lot of content that we don't post here on YouTube. Until next time, bye.
Thanks.